So I've come to the Transport Museum because it's an event I've been to a couple of times now. Nice little rally, really. I wonder which one's guilty of that. Blimey. Yeah, nice little rally. October, end of season, where they have the old cars and bus rides as well. One I always enjoy because it is a nice venue. Nice, easygoing staff, informal atmosphere, and of course, plenty of interesting vehicles as well, which is the name of the game. I've just missed the first bus. I think it was the Crossley. I just have to be careful where I stand here, because that is some oil slick, is that. I can feel it. My feet are slipping on it already. NBU Oldham, that. Shaw, Wren's Nest, BU is Oldham. I've alluded to that before, because of course in those days you could tell where a vehicle was from based on its registration mark, and it was always, when you had 3 letters, it was always the last 2. And I've got books that give it the full list of licensing authorities, so it was easy then to tell where a vehicle had come from. Raw bodied. It's a pity Martin isn't here today. I did call him to see if he wanted to come, but he can't make it. He's still not fit enough to have a full day out, unfortunately, which is a shame, because he's always got some interesting stories. He did have a bus firm during the deregulation era, and he's told me many interesting stories about those days. I'll catch up with him again though, because we've got some work to do with his cars up at his unit. Here we are, yeah. Oldham. And the 3 owls. 3 wise owls of Oldham. I was reading, it's interesting what you see now in these online forums and discussion things, because a picture come up of it was an old bus in period in the 1960s, but it wasn't an Oldham bus, it had come from another corporation, and apparently there was a bus crisis in the 1960s. I think it was 1965. Someone who might know who's watching, but I think the top and bottom of it was Oldham being a hilly area, and winters being quite harsh due to the terrain and altitude of the place. They use a lot of grit salt on the roads. And I think what had happened is it was discovered that a lot of the buses, the rear end, had gone totally rotten, and they all went at once. So a bit of transport history there. So I'll go inside because I've parked the van up. A shame it just started pouring down because it was nice and fine when I got up, but it promises to fine up again. So go inside and have a look.
Yeah, keep coming.
There's a piece of history, yes.
Keep coming. Yeah. That's it. That's very happy.
And not an easy building to maintain, eh?
3 Luton products next to each other. How
Yes.
many times will you see that?
Not often these days, and he's brave driving that today in the rain.
I'll tell you
It's a
what,
lovely
it's,
car, that.
Series 1.
Rare, very
with
rare
the,
now.
Exhaust going through the bumper.
Yeah.
They rusted as quick as you can look at them.
Yes, I think they're actually designed to rust because when
right.
you know.
Well, there's a story there.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm from Luton. What it was,
Yeah.
in order to get the curves,
Yes.
they had to increase the sulfur content in the steel
Really? Right.
to get it to fold without cracking.
Right.
So that's what triggered it off.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd heard something about Vauxhalls using poorer quality steel, so that would explain it. And the fact that there was they were full of rust traps, these F-types, but lovely looking cars nevertheless. Yeah. EK, I know where that's from Wigan. Because I had, my first Allegro was registered HEK. And there it is, so that's actually the bus there. Leyland Titan. One of the front entry buses, this. We'll just have a look before the doors open to the general public. I think vandalism was a lot more prevalent in those days. I read that around the time of the 1950s, you know, when the rock music, etc., Bill Haley and the Comets, well, cinemas just used to get trashed for some bizarre reason. And you could smoke upstairs in those days because the match strikers are stubbers to put your cigarette out with. Then later it was smoke free. Apart from the engine, of course, which happily belched smoke out into the atmosphere. I'm just standing here, channeling my inner Jack Harper. Martin had one of them, or one or two of them, when he had his bus company. Quite an interesting vehicle, but problematic apparently. So we'll have a look at some of the cars, because it's not just Morris Miners at this one. The one in February is Manchester branch Morris Minor club rally, but this is just for all old cars, this one in October. Single windscreen wiper. These were, it was the BMC Mini that finished these for good, really, even though they were very antiquated, even really in 1953. Yeah, it tells you there because they were sort of based on the previous Anglia that was similar to this. And they were the cheapest car in Britain. But then when the Mini came out, it finished these for good. Because this is essentially a 1930s car, is this? And there we are, there's the proof, the lowest priced car in the world. And boy, wouldn't you know it as well. Having said that, they're reasonably spacious inside. It looks like there's plenty of legroom, but they suffered from the same drawback as all these pre-war design cars, and that was where the body tapers in, so it's narrow inside, so your feet are sort of crammed in. Then obviously when the full width bodies came out, you had much more room. This looks like a Survivor car. We used to travel on these to school, so I remember these. As they were used for the school contracts. That was would have been the early 2000s. Well, it was around 2001. These are smart little cars. I've always liked these. Nice compact size, but a 1500 engine. So you do have a good power to weight ratio. And of course you have the Wolseley light up grille badge that illuminates with the side and headlights. Wood dash. Mark 1. Yeah, really nice cars, them. Very nicely furnished. Yes, it has got a Mark III grille. You can tell that because they were a lot longer. Being a Mark 1, they should have a smaller grille with less chrome ornament, and it sort of only come out to here. It was about half the size of that. But I wouldn't have known unless I'd read that blurb there. And here we have the 3 Luton products, as Philip just alluded to. A Vauxhall 12.6. Quite advanced for the day, these cars. I'm pretty sure they had hydraulic brakes as well. Something wants to come in. There's the Sunbeam Alpine. Hard top. That'll have the 1725 engine. I can tell that by the way it sounds. From the days when you you could tell what a car was before you saw it by the sound it made. That'll do it. Here's my old van, the old tin can, and the Victor F series. Now, I like these. I'd been to see a couple of them with a view to buying, but it never came to be. This one's been, you know, had a few stick-on things thrown at it, like them poet holes on the front wing here, and mirrors and what have you, but they were a nice car when they come out. Not to everybody's taste, of course. But again, they were a good family saloon. Very spacious boot. And nice inside. Obviously brought some Americana to the austere post-war years of Britain. Yeah, I like them. I think the colour, it's lost its original motif, because they usually the plastic goes funny on them. But they have the honeycomb grille and the two sort of bomb overriders. And they claimed to be the first British car with a panoramic windscreen, but it's contested really, because when this come out in 1957, the new Humber Hawk also debuted, which of course had American styling as well. That had a wraparound screen. But this has a proper dogleg screen pillar, that does. But yeah, they made no attempt to rust-proof these, because, or even, you know, try and design out rust. Because up here there was no wheel arch liner or anything, it was just a void. So all the muck flung up by the rear wheel, it got wedged up here, and you can see that is the unfortunate result. I've got a copy of Practical Motorist or something from 1962, I think. And there's a letter there from a reader, and he was complaining about his Vauxhall Velox, which he bought used. It was about 2 years old, if that. 18,000 miles, bought it from a dealer, used. And 18,000 miles, 2 years old. The rear wing had completely rusted through. So that was a new car that had gone rotten. And the author was complaining that the main dealer wasn't interested. They took no responsibility for it, and there was no goodwill, despite it being serviced by the agents. And well, I doubt he ever bought a Vauxhall ever again.
Okay, folks, we're going to stop.
Oh, look at this.
You can give them away, you can get people like these out, remember? You can give them away.
Crikey. I think that's the optional extra alarm system. Yeah, so I was looking at this, it come in right at the end, and I think it's Telephone's van. I think. I don't know if it is. They usually have a plaque somewhere inside. If it was ex-BT, post office or whatever. But this is what I like to see, this condition. It looks like it's just come out of service actually. Ah yeah, right. That's the place I was referring to. It's got the ladder rack on the roof, you see. Thought which the Telephone's vans had to go up the poles. But yes, that is how I like to see them. Nice ex-service condition. I was just looking at that, I've not seen it before, it must be a new exhibit. The key to the city. So I was just stood here waiting for the doors to open. As you can imagine, Bob Grant and Reg Varney types, couple of them stood around here running the clock down. But yeah, it was a very, 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 very nice day. Enjoyed it. And now I'm going to clock off as well.
I just did the right thing, I went out of